Hello, Marietta here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for logging in. For all my new subscribers, I see y'all coming in. Y'all make me so happy when y'all see me come. When I see y'all come into the room to uplift, motivate, and inspire. Yes, that's what we do over here. And to all my day ones, y'all know how I feel about y'all. Y'all know what? Let me tell y'all something. Right now, we're living in some very dangerous times. Some very dangerous times. People are doing just about anything and everything they can possibly do openly. Openly. I happened to be walking around in the Walmart, and there was this young lady, and she was in the Walmart with her children, and she was actually opening up packs of bologna and ham and things. I didn't want to stare because you don't know what people are going through. But regardless of what it is, she was not have enough money, evidently, to feed her children or to buy what she needed to buy. So her plan of action was to feed the children as she walked through the store, hiding packs of meat in her cart that she had already opened. And she was taking big chunks of ham and big chunks of, looked like bologna and cheese, and stuffing it in her mouth. And then she had like a bag of chips that was open in her cart. And she was just walking like a regular shopper, but she was doing what she felt she needed to do to feed her children. And I say this to say, stealing is stealing. Stealing is stealing. People have resorted to stealing what they want and what they need to be able to survive because of the way the cost of living is. The sad part about this situation is, as they begin to move through the stores and they begin to steal the things that they need, after you get caught, you're still going to jail. They're not going to look at it like, this is an innocent mother who just didn't have the money, or didn't have the means to do what she needed to do. So she decided to steal food to feed her children. Desperate times will cause people to do desperate things. It will cause them to do things that they probably would not even think of doing. But I understand when it is that you see your children that are out here and they're hungry and they're starving. What is a mother to do? What is a mother to do? It's going to come a time where she's not going to be the only one that's out here doing this type of stuff. I see grown people at the meat counter picking up different packs of meat. Look at the price, throw them down. Look at the price, throw them down. And the despair that's on their face is so heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see that the American folks we can't even afford to buy food. Just call the thing a thing. We can't even afford to eat. We can't even afford to walk into the store and pick up what we need to feed our family. Families are suffering, y'all. So many people are out here suffering. So many people don't have what they need to make it. They have resorted to stealing. It will start with food. When they start stealing, they'll start with food, and then you don't know what that could escalate into. Because that spirit of stealing has already gone nationwide. I've seen it so many times within the last couple of weeks. Even in the Walmart where they had the self-checkout, now they have people there to check you out because so many people were not ringing up everything, putting them in their bag. They got cameras overhead to watch you now as you check out. I really feel so sad and so hurt for the parents that have children, but yet they can't afford to feed these very same children. They can't afford to feed their family no more on the income that once used to do it for them. Once they were already struggling, but now the price of things have gone up so bad, and you're just $2 over the limit, so you can't get food stamps. They're cutting all that out. They're trying to cut down on people getting assistance, but yet you got people out here that cannot eat, and they're taking matters into their own hands. This could get very dangerous, y'all. This could get very, very dangerous. Over a course of months and years, weeks, we don't know what the next 6 months. We're like, what? This is January, February, March, April. 4 months into the year. 4 months into the new year. And this is where we are, where people are stealing to feed their family. The American people cannot afford to buy food in 2025. Here we are in 2025, and the American people cannot afford to buy food to feed their family. They cannot afford to pay rent to stay in their own homes. As I left the store and got into my vehicle, I could see the vehicle that this young lady got into with them kids. I could tell that they were living in that vehicle. If you sat in the Walmart parking lot, you'll see a lot of things. You'll see a lot of things that you have never, ever thought you would be able to witness. I could tell that they were living in that car that she put them kids in by the way, the car looked and by the things that she had packed in the window and things of that nature. And in the back, on the back console back there, you could see that there was like kid toys and shoes and everything just thrown up in the window, where you could see that this is where they must be living, in this car. And maybe she didn't have enough money to do what she needed to do, because she did have some money, because she did come out with a few bags, but yet and still, I guess she may have had enough for a meal. It wasn't much, but the meal that she needed to have for that night, she let them eat it while they were walking around the store. She made sure their bellies were full before she left out that store. So all those empty packages that she had, that she opened up, she stuffed them somewhere down that aisleway and went and paid for what little bit she could afford to pay for, and walked out. Do you still consider that stealing? Is that still stealing in 2025? Would you consider her as being a thief? Type down below. Leave a message down below and let me know how you feel about that situation. Let me know how you feel about what she did. And do you think that this is what the American people are going to have to do to feed their families? I mean, you got these young girls out here that are having babies, have had babies. Then all of them don't say they don't work, because a lot of them do work, and they have been working. And now, anytime you're going to say, my child either got to go to bed hungry, or I can take the risk of walking them through the store and I can stuff things in their mouth, but because I didn't steal it, I didn't stuff it, I didn't steal it, I didn't walk out the door with, they ate it. There's no evidence of it because they ate it. They don't have it with them because they ate it. You see what I'm saying? So does that make a difference? Does it make a difference because they ate it? Because there's no evidence of stealing. I just want to know exactly, because like I said, I just was appalled to see this. And I said to myself, Lord, this is not fact of her situation. I understand why she may feel she had to do what she had to do, because she don't want her kids to go to hungry with their bellies hungry. It's one thing for grown people to be hungry, and I know what that's like, because like I told you, I've been on that side of the track as well. I know what it is to be hungry. I know what it is to have to just eat out the trash can, eat junk, eat whatever you can find so that your belly don't hurt. Because when you're hungry, if you ever really been hungry to the point where you got pains in your stomach, this is probably where kids go to earlier, faster than we as adults do, and it's the most painful feeling you ever need to feel. That's why I say some of you people need to train yourself to be hungry. Train yourself to go empty. Train yourself to see what it feels like to, instead of having 3 meals a day, have one or have none. Train yourself to be on water for 48 hours and see exactly what that looks like. Some of you might make it. Some of you might not make it. Some of you may have never tried it, but it would be something for you to try. It would be a nice little test for you to try. Now, I'm no doctor. Seek your doctor advice first. It's just something I'm just throwing out there, because like I said, at the time that it was in, I had to go through it. I didn't have time to seek nobody. It was just you out there, and you just gonna have to figure it out. So that's what she figured out, is to take the kids into the store and feed them, because the price of food is not getting any cheaper. It's steady going up. And then the sleeping in the car, that's a whole nother video. That's a whole nother issue. But the price of food being as high as it is, and then you gotta not have nowhere to refrigerate it as it is when you're sleeping in your car. She may not, I'm sure she probably didn't have a refrigerator of any kind, because the things that she had in her cart was a lot of stuff that didn't have to be refrigerated. But yet and still, this is where we are. And before, this type of living would be considered a situation for DFS, or a situation where If you needed food, you could go to the local food banks or whatever. And now even some of the food banks are saying they don't have enough food to give to the people. So I just want to know exactly what are the people to do. Right now, people are getting desperate. Right now, people are taking matters into their own hands. Right now, this could get real ugly. Right now, you have to even defend your own very refrigerator. You have to stand at your own door and defend your own doorway because people are hungry. And when people get hungry, that animal magnetism begin to kick in and they lose track of what they're doing. They black out. They don't know what they're doing. They begin to hurt other people. So before we get to that point, before we go down that road, before we go down that rabbit hole, let's start normalizing helping one another. Let's start normalizing reaching out and try to be there for one another. I didn't have the means nor the money to help this young lady because God knows if I did, I would have, but I didn't have the help. I was able to help her at this time. But the thing about it is to walk through that store and to see her doing what she had to do with her, I believe it was like 3 kids. I know it was more than 2, so I think it was 3 kids. With her 3 children, and she fed them herself, hiding things behind her pocketbook and behind other situations that she had in the cart. But she made sure they ate good. I tell you that. And she made it out of that store that time. But the thing about it is she's putting herself at risk because she's putting herself at risk to be without her children. She's trying to do what she needs to do to help her children, but she's also putting herself at risk for her children to be taken away from her, or she be taken away from her children to be locked up, to be in jail somewhere. So if anybody is out there and if you see this type of activity and you can help these young lady financially, if you can help these people, if we can do so, let's try to do so. But then, like I said, use your discernment. Be careful. Only if you have the means. Know how to approach. Know what to say when you approach. Know what to do. And I'm just saying, to save somebody from going to jail, save a family from being broken up, save the children from being without their mother, it was just a sad situation. It was just a sad situation. And even though so you're out there and you see this and you're doing this type of thing, think about what you're doing in the midst of this. Think about what you're doing if you get separated from your children. Figure out a better way, because I'm sure they're going to look at this like it's stealing. They're going to still say it's stealing, even though you're not the only one that cannot afford food at this time. Food is expensive. Food is hard for everybody. People are even trying to grow their own food because of the cost of this food, and it's not going to get any cheaper. It's going to go up. And the sad part about it is there are some people with greed in their eyes. There are some people that are just out here just waiting for your demise that don't care. They as money, power, and greed, and they don't care if you perish. They could care less if you perish. They don't know you. They don't care nothing about you. And that's for all of us. I'm talking about they don't care if we perish. You got to know and you got to be able to save yourself in this season. And it's starting right now. It's not like you're waiting to walk into something or you're waiting for something to happen in the world. It's already happening. It's already here. The recession is already in full swing. You only been 4 months into this year, and you have never seen nothing like what's going on in the world right now. So instead of focusing on the problem, you got to start focusing on how to protect yourself from being drugged down through the problem. Because like I said, with them trying to figure out exactly what the rich are going to do or whatever, we don't got it like that. That's not even our fight. We ain't got no dog in that fight because we don't have that kind of money to worry about, and we can't fight them people. All we can do is drink our water and mind our business and stay in our own little corner and begin to build what we can build and begin to protect what we can protect and begin to hold on to our own families and try to keep our own self alive and our own children alive. So do what you need to do, but just do not be out there trying to steal. Do not go out there and try to put yourself in harm's way. Do not give up on the fact that, there's somebody out there, somebody that can come and help you. But just don't end up in jail. That's all I want to say. And with that being said, that situation kind of bothered me, and I figured I'd turn this camera on and talk about the fact that the American people cannot even afford to buy food. They done resorted to stealing. I mean, it ain't like it ain't been going on, but I've never known it to be this bad where I've never seen a mother that desperate to feed her children that she took them to the store and fed them as she walked through the store. That was really something to see. And that's something, and that's the first time I can say I witnessed that type of stuff going on. I have seen people walk through the store and I could see that they were stealing, or they looked like they were stealing, or things of that nature. You could tell when people are out there stealing. But to see a mother that was trying to feed her child, do you consider that stealing? Is it the same? Would you still say she stole that meat? When you look at things in certain lights, you got to wonder. You got to think about it. Think about the decisions that she made. Think about the situation she was in. Think about the desperation that she may have felt. But will it matter had she got caught? I'm going to leave that right there. Y'all type down below. Let me know what you think about this situation. But that was something to see, and it was heartbreaking. And it's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any easier. Y'all be blessed.